Hello and welcome. This is Susan Bradley Bortfield from Soul Speakers Global and Coaches on the Rise. I'm so excited to have a very special guest today. She is a true soul speaker, and I'm so excited for this interview. Welcome, Kim. So happy you're here.
Susan, thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Excited. I can't wait to get this conversation going. But before we do, I just want to read your bio so people can have a little glimpse into who you are.
Okay.
So Kim has a lifelong calling and a passion for healing and energy arts, and she has studied multiple modalities for decades. With her certification as a Satori Method QiGong Instructor, she adds Qigong into practice she calls Kaizen Rising. Kaizen Rising is a fusion of mind, body, one modalities, including Qigong, yoga, hypnotherapy, Reiki, EFT, and law of attraction principles, and is designed to bring about higher levels of health, vitality, and wellness. Kaizen Rising awakens personal awareness and choice within Kim's students, leading them to live more fully in the energies of love, joy, gratitude, and optimism. Welcome, Kim. So that just says a little tiny bit about you. We've known each other since 2015. We, started this coaching journey together. And so it's such an honor to be connected to you all these years, to see what you're doing out in the world and, how many gifts you possess and offer to your clients. So I'm really excited. I love that you're outside. I know you love to be outside. You are very much into the healing modalities, yoga, qigong, EFT, hypnotherapy, etc. So tell us a little bit in your own words, like, why do you do what you do?
Well, I've always just been drawn to the healing arts. And as you know, before we started our journey together, 5 years ago, I was in the corporate world and I had a great job. I worked with great people, but there was just something missing. It just wasn't fulfilling me. And I began actually my journey into the healing energy arts several years before, but at that point in time, I was able to semi-retire and really dedicate full time to just diving in a little bit deeper and just never look back. I just feel pulled to keep learning and sharing. I just want to share these beautiful arts with people.
It's incredible, like how life-changing it is when we begin to understand the power of the universe and the power of our mind, body, spirit to transform and to heal and to we're so much more powerful than we could ever even imagine. And I love that you say Kaizen Rising, right? What does that mean?
So Kaizen is the art of continuous self improvement. And so that's what I've been doing that really for the last couple of decades. And the rising is just significance of rising up. It's like the upward spiral to higher and better. So it's just it's a work in progress on a continuous basis.
Right, because we're always moving forward, right? We're always growing, we're always transforming, we're always changing. And so what do you think is the best way for somebody to how would you explain the importance of using these modalities for total health?
Well, first and foremost, it really helps you to become more self-aware. You look within instead of without. We are so powerful, and I think oftentimes I noticed when I worked in the corporate world, you kind of get on that hamster wheel, right? And you don't always check into what's right for you, how you're feeling. You just, wake up and go to work and come home, and it's can become kind of a struggle and very stressful. But when you start using these energy arts, you become more aware of who you are, what's important to you, and what matters. And your body is an incredible messenger for all of those things if we only take the time to tune in. So these arts allow you to do that, to become more self-aware and to learn how to take better care of yourself and just live life from a fuller perspective.
Yeah, this is so amazing because, you know, because for me personally, I was at a point where I wasn't physically well. And I'm not going to go into the whole story, but long story short, it was when I tuned into my own inner wisdom that
Yes.
I had the understanding that my body had the ability to heal itself. But I was going down the rabbit hole, and that wasn't the way. So that's how I started looking at energy, looking at natural healing, looking, just investigating. And so that's how things started for me. When did you start? Like, what made you start really going in the direction of natural healing and coaching and all of that? So what was it that made you really say, I'm going to just dump the corporate life and do this amazing thing, have this amazing journey?
So I think it's always been an inner calling, and I think I probably ignored it for a long time, like probably maybe a lot of people do, because they're just going about the business of life. I just felt drawn. I guess you can call me a seeker. I just felt drawn. What's more? There's something more here. There's something more to life than this. And it's just amazing. Once I started that inquiry, things would be placed in front of me. Like, here, try this. It's kind of, I call them my stepping stones. It's like, okay, this is the next step, and things just opened up, and the teachers came to me, and it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So I remember, this, because this is when I was having my awakening, and I really understood the power. I was beginning to understand the power of the universe. And I remember, for me, because, if I followed the path I was on, with the doctors, I was on so many pills, I probably would have been dead. But I remember after that, knowing that my body had the ability to heal itself, that I met a healer, Jared, and I was told, like, I just heard clearly that he's the person that's going to help you on your journey. Like, I knew that. I knew he was meant to be my earthbound guide to help me through the awakening process. So isn't that miraculous how the universe does lay everything out for you? Do you believe that it's just we need to tune into that more, or what's your thoughts about that?
Well, I absolutely love your story, Susan. And I think if we just come to a place of quiet, I mean, we do have the answers, and we do know what's the next best thing for us. And so we just need to quiet that mind and tune in and just ask, actually. And it's amazing when you do that, how you really do open up and things do come to you. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and when you do qigong, right? I just think, like, when I think of qigong, I just think of inner peace, right? So when you're just it's not a strenuous exercise. It's just these simple movements opening up your energy centers, right? Opening up your own body's ability to heal. And so you don't have to run track for 5 miles a day to experience wellness, right?
Absolutely. What I love about Qigong is it's the full picture. It does address every system in the body, and it works to open up your energy and let it flow. And it works truly mind, body, and spirit. And that's what's beautiful about it, because you're in touch with your spirit, your soul, your guidance, and you know what's important for you. And when you have your mind and your body and your spirit working together, it's just a beautiful flow, and it just brings about such a beautiful sense of wellness, vitality, harmony, love, really.
Yeah. So I love that qigong. Like, you can be in any kind of shape. You can be, you know, you could be 90 years old, or you can be 17 years old, and there you can do this. It's not something that in the beginning is very hard. But it helps you to focus. And I love that you brought up, because so many of us have that chatter in our mind going all the time, right? And so Qigong really helps you just go into the silence and really tune in. And when we can do that, that's when we can hear those whispers, that we can hear the guidance, right? And especially right now, I think, you know, like you said, we have been for centuries on this hamster wheel of doing and doing and doing. And now, with everything kind of on pause, right? We were all forced to go on pause, that people are questioning. People are looking, they're soul searching. They really are soul searching, and they're looking at their life. They're looking at where they were and where they want to go, and how they want to show up in the world. And with this, with COVID-19, people really are looking to enhance their health, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, to be healthy, it really does take, you describe it as a spiral, right? But it does take that, it's important to have your mind, body, and spirit into alignment. And I think that's what you do, right? That's what you do. And the result, because I know for myself, when I did mind, body, spirit, and was in full alignment, my healing was miraculous. What happened was miraculous. And so that's what's possible.
Absolutely. I've been studying Qigong for, I don't know, but maybe about 5 years now. And in those studies, I've met other students who have actually healed themselves from so many ailments. There was one gal that I know that was walking with a cane, and because of this, doing the Qigong, she doesn't need the cane anymore. I mean, there's so many case histories of people actually making huge leaps in their health and wellness. So Qigong is sometimes termed as a moving meditation.
Yeah.
And also as movement medicine, and it really is, because you're using your intention, you're using your body, and you're working together, and it's just brings about such a beautiful sense of not only health and wellness, but a sense of well-being, and it really opens up your heart, which we need that in the world today, right? We need more love in the world, and Qigong is just beautiful for that.
I love that you help your clients really realize their own inner power, right? And their own ability to create health, create wellness, create peace and joy and love in their life. And I love that. So, I also love that because I think people are frustrated a little bit with the energy arts, with the energy healing. So they might be doing EFT, they might be doing qigong, they might be doing, you know, just a regular massages or whatever, and they're not getting the fullest results. So I love that you have so many gifts and so many talents that you really combine everything, because you look at the whole person, and that's how you help them create total wellness. And I'm super excited because you are doing a 5-day challenge. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I will say that we, with a couple of other amazing people, we got on calls every week for a couple of weeks, and we decided to do our, you know, create our challenges together, which is super exciting. So do you want to tell people about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's been super fun working with you and getting our challenges going. I love it. I love your energy. I love being with you, and you're so inspiring, Susan. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
So my passion and my love for the energy arts, right now, I really want to help people. With COVID, there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of stress. And I want to just let people know that they can do with just simple exercises, simple practices that they can do in as little as 10 minutes a day, can really empower them to take charge of their own health, to reduce their stress, and to help them feel much better about the situation, and even influence the world around them because of their positive attitude. And so that's why I want to do this challenge. I just want to give this to people so they can see how easy it is, and get some relief some stress, and bring about a better way of feeling and experiencing right now.
Yeah, you know, I work with coaches all over the world, so the world is going through this. But here in the States, it has been absolutely crazy, just mixed information, confusing information. Near where you live, there's fires. I mean, a lot is going on. So there are so many people that are just afraid. And they're afraid to go out into the world. And as you know, we're understanding more and more about COVID from, you know, the scientists and the experts, things are beginning to open up. Restaurants are opening up. You know, there's a lot of pressure for the schools to open up, etc. But you know, there's a lot of fear to go out there. There's a lot of fear to send our children back to school, right? There's a lot of fear that if you go to a restaurant, you're going to die, right? And it's like that serious. I mean, people are afraid. And so you're very aware of that, and you're very conscious of that. So that's, you know, with helping them, because yours is supercharge your immune system, right?
Right.
Your immune system. So you, this challenge, you help them really boost their immune system quite a bit, so they are protected more, but you're also very aware of the fear. And so, right, by helping them boost their immune system, then they can feel safer stepping out into the world. I mean, this is
Absolutely, Susan. And here's the thing about fear. Those of us who work in the energy arts know that whatever you're feeling, you're actually projecting out into your environment, right? So if all these people are feeling fear and stress, that's going out into the environment. So another piece of my work is changing that, so that we're projecting out love and optimism and positivity rather than that fear, because it really does go out into the environment and it affects everybody. A lot of people don't think about that, or don't realize that. But the more people that we can have projecting energy of positivity, optimism, love, safety, the better we're all going to be as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's one of my underlying missions.
Right, because it's hard right now to watch what's going on and know what the truth is, and you know, so you help them really center, like really center back into just going within and really projecting forward, because we are energetic beings. If
Absolutely.
right, if we're angry, that's the vibration we're putting into the world. If we have, and so then, you know, the world mirrors that back to us. And if we're in fear, then, you know, the universe is going to show us lots of stuff to be afraid of. Right? And it's, I know people, I know maybe you're watching this, you go, you ladies are crazy. And, you
Right.
know, and for me, if you said all this stuff to me 10 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, right. But both of us have experienced this. We understand it because we apply it and we work it and we do it in our own life. And so, you know, we're talking from a place of experience. And so you are energy, and everything that you put out there is mirrored back. Would you say that's true?
That is true. And there's actually scientific proof of that now. And not only that, to take this a little step further, there's a scientist by the name of Candace Pert, and she was doing cancer research, and she discovered through her work, and this is scientifically proven, that whatever emotion that we're feeling, our thoughts that we're thinking, actually affect every cell of our body. So if you want to think about that, if you're afraid and you're under stress and you're feeling, you know, doubt and anxiety, every single cell in your body is being bathed with that energy. So how cool is it to know that? Because you can take control, and you could work through qigong and mind body one work and change that around, so you're bathing every cell in your body with love, compassion, harmony, optimism. That's pretty powerful.
It is so powerful. And I think, you know, if you know, if you're new to me, if you don't know me, I was bedridden for a year. You know, I resented my body. I was a workaholic. You know, I thought if I took a step back from my job, that the whole company would fall apart. You know, so I was arrogant. um, yeah, confessions of Susan Bradley Portfield. Okay, but when I started using these, like, I was on 22 pills and a pain patch, people. I was shopping for wheelchairs. My doctor was scheduling the, you know, surgery for me to have a pain pump inserted in my body. You know, I was told I'd never walk again or work again. And so, you know, had I followed that path, I would have died. Okay. So I think this is prevalent here because it is when I understood that my body does have the power to heal itself, but I had to be in alignment with what my body needed. So the first thing I did is I deleted anything negative off of my Facebook, and I replaced it with every group that had the word love in it or peace or prosperity, you know. So I signed up for probably like 30 groups, and then I stopped watching the news, right? And so what you're talking about is like, that's what I came to understand for myself. I knew that whatever I was taking in from the outside, that it was affecting my body, that it was affecting my cells, it was affecting everything. So when I became mindful of what I was allowing in my field and just focused on the positivity and did the energy work, I did guided meditations with frequency, I did EFT, I did a little hypnotherapy, and I did some qigong, and I healed within about 4 months from being scheduled for surgery.
Living proof. Living proof.
I'm walking living proof that what we're saying is true. And so that's why I'm so excited to support you and shine a light on what you do, because don't mind me, I'm a little emotional about it, but it's so important. It's so important. It's so, so important, especially now.
Yes.
Especially now. So I love that you're doing this 5-day challenge, that it's not like super intense. But it doesn't have to be intense to receive the results. Is that true?
Absolutely. It's actually fun. You make it fun and you make it joyful and you make it happy and you make it easy. And just by saying those words, you get a sense of feeling that ease. You know, it's just a beautiful experience, and it's an easy experience to go through. And it's just, I'm so thankful that I've learned these things, because it's so powerful. And it's wonderful to hear your story, Susan, because when I was listening to you, and I know your story because I know you, but just to think of where you came from being bedridden, all those pills, possible surgery, your quality of life.
Yeah.
Compared to your quality of life now, I mean, you're such a beautiful, vivacious, loving person, and
Yeah.
you exude love, and it's just so beautiful to see that that's what's available.
Yeah. It, I mean, like sometimes I forget, right? Sometimes I forget, like, what I went through and the miracle that happened when I decided it wasn't going to be my story, right? Some people are comfortable with where they are because it's what they know. But for me, it was like, this is not going to be my story. And I didn't tell my doctor. I didn't tell, because when I was bedridden, having a conversation with me was like having a conversation with a wet nap. Like, I could not I couldn't watch TV. I could, because my mind was all over the place. I was in and out of like being lucid. I mean, I was very serious where I was. But you have to love yourself, right? You have to choose to love yourself and to choose to appreciate your body. Like, I resented my body so much. And so when I decided that I would love my body, and I had to start like, okay, because I really hated my body for breaking down on me. I'm like, okay, what can I love about my body? And I'm like, okay, I can love that my heart beats. Love that my heart beats. It never takes a day off. Just keeps going, right? So I love that you're doing this challenge, because anybody can do it. And it doesn't have to be hard. And when your challenge is like 10 minutes a day, right? They can do it in 10 minutes a day, yes?
Yes, I have this little routine, this little QiGong routine, and you can do it in as little as 10 minutes a day to make a profound difference in your life.
Right. And even if, even in those 5 days, they're going to be walking away knowing that they boosted their immune system, right? And so that's what happened to me. Like, when I boosted my immune system way back in the day, that's when the healing begins to happen. And so I love your whole person approach. I love what you do. I love your wisdom, your knowledge, and your grace. You're such a beautiful person. I've known you for 5 years,
Thank you, Susan.
And so this challenge, it's totally free, right? It's totally
Yep.
free. So just to kind of go a little deeper into what your challenge is about. Like, yeah.
So the challenge is focused on exactly what it says, boosting your immune system. So it's going to give you just a little glimpse of what Qigong and the energy arts can do for you. And it's also going to provide you with this little, they call it a kata. It's a routine that you can do in as little as 10 minutes a day to boost your immune system, but you're also going to get a sense of what it feels like to work at that level, to connect your whole mind, body, spirit together, to step into a little bit of stress relief through breath work, and just really empower you to know that you can make a difference in your own life, in your own health, in your own well-being.
So at the end of 5 days, not only will they boost their immune system, but they'll really understand the power of going within. Yeah.
Yes, and it will also create awareness, because I think, when you described your life before, when you were, a workaholic, and me too, we don't always pay attention. There's awareness. We don't always pay attention to what's going on inside of our body. We know we're stressed, but we just keep pushing through. With Qigong and the energy arts, you tune in, and so you can recognize when you're starting to get really stressed out, and you can immediately take steps to do the U-turn. And so you're no longer in that chronic stress. Stress is one of the worst things for your health. It's one of the key causes of disease. So if you can learn to recognize when that's starting to creep in and do these simple movements or exercises or techniques to relieve that stress, and then you learn throughout your day to recognize things more and more, you really do change the way that you live life.
Yeah, and that's how I became bedridden. It was unchecked stress, right?
Exactly.
It was unchecked stress. And so now when I feel stressed, I know what to do to just come to a place of peace and power very quickly. But everybody can do this. And so I'm so excited about your challenge. So it starts on the 28th, right? The 28th of this month. I'm so excited. And I'm going to include a link with this interview so people can sign up. I mean,
great.
Yeah. So I'm so excited for you. And so for that person that is nervous, not only for themselves, maybe their family members, afraid that if they leave the house or they go to the grocery store, that they're moving out into the world completely in fear, right?
Yes.
What would you say to that person, why they should take you up on your offer for this 5-day experience that you're providing?
Well, when you supercharge your immune system, if you're exposed to COVID or anything else, you're going to be much better able to ward that off, right? Because your immune system is supercharged, it's much stronger. Plus, you have a positive attitude, and a positive attitude goes a long way to deal with those feelings of fear and negativity. And that in of itself is a huge boost. So it just gives you can just feel empowered, you can feel stronger, you can feel your own inner strength. And we can't hide in our houses forever, we have to get out. So why not empower ourselves with something that is proven to supercharge your immune system?
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So what would you like people to take away from this conversation today?
I'd like for them to take away that life is full of possibility and indeed miracles. You're a miracle. And we can take our own futures, our own lives in our own hands, in our own hearts, and move forward in a way of feeling safer, happier, more joyful, more optimism. Lose the fear, embrace love.
Yeah, because what came forward for me when you were just saying that is that, whatever's happening out there, right, with the COVID-19, it's going to do its thing, whether you're focused on it or not, right? It's going to be there. It's going to run its course. It's going to do its thing out there. And so by just really redirecting your focus from out there to in here, you are reclaiming your power, right? You are reclaiming your power. and there's so much strength and within that. So yeah, I urge every single person that has any amount of fear, or maybe you're just curious about what qigong is all about, and what Kim's all about, and to do her fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do her 5-day challenge. It takes about 10 minutes of your time a day, and dive in and just have the experience. So I'm so grateful to you for agreeing to play with me today, and it's always an honor. So thank you.
Oh, Susan, thank you for the invitation. It's been a fun conversation. I always love hanging out with you, and it's been an honor for me as well. So thank you.
Thanks. Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.